Real, yeah, we had some technical issues. Hello, Jan. How are
Hey,
you?
good so far. Yeah.
Good? Yeah, me too. Today in my home office studio. Feels like in good old lockdown times, but unfortunately, both of my kids are positive, so I'm babysitting today or kid sitting today, and I hope I will stay negative.
Yeah. Let's hope so.
Otherwise, you have to run the show for the rest of the week.
Well, yeah.
Good. So what's
Yes.
the topic today? So today again we continue with our workshop for this client, which is going amazingly well. We had lots of fun yesterday. About 20 participants. They're all rock and rolling and learning about behavioral tendencies. Yeah. But today is all about what did we talk about today, Jan?
Today is all about the motivators.
Exactly. What
After we had the golden and platinum rule of how you treat others yesterday, today we're talking about how people get motivated or what motivates people. And the big question is, why are there topics where from one day or from one situation to another, my motivation rises or falls?
Yeah. And I was asking myself most of my life, what is driving me? What is often you had a gut feeling. Yeah. You said, okay, this is important, this is important, this is not so important. But I never really knew for sure until I found this assessment and this motivators assessment, which basically gives you a detailed report, I don't know, 30 odd pages of detailed description. What are your motivators? What is driving you? What is the reason you get up in the morning? And I was so fascinated from this topic that I decided to basically get certified and be able to offer this to our clients. And I want to show you a few slides of the presentation we prepared for today, just as a warm-up, but we only have 10 minutes, so we have to hurry. So behaviors and motivators, and this is quite a good definition. The behaviors, how we act is determined by our emotions, of course, how we feel. And we all know this. If we're feeling good, then we have enough power, we do the right things, we put in enough energy, and we behave in a certain way. And if we have negative or unresourceful emotions, well, then it's a different game. And motivators are basically the reason why we get up in the morning, what drives us. And there are different motivators available. They basically act as a filter and a guide for decision we take. And they are unique for everyone. And well, they really help us to understand why we do certain things. So what motivators are available? The first one is the aesthetic one. And sometimes you have these people who have this strong drive, to be everything in harmony and to look for amazing forms and balance. And they have a high aesthetic motivation.
I have the feeling that those are also a lot of perfectionists. Could that be?
It goes in this direction, yeah. And on the other hand, people with a low aesthetic motivator, well, they say, give me tangible, practical solutions, stuff which just works, and I don't need this fluff. But I mean, we have to be careful. I mean, it's neither bad or good, I mean, this is not we don't value people based on their motivation.
I mean, just as an example, if I work in a team and we get the task to do a few mock-ups for, let's say, a certain GUI for a new software, and a mock-up is something you need to just take and throw it away if it's not needed. And people with a high aesthetic level, they will be very, I don't know, I think it's very hard for them to create a mock-up and just throw it away.
Yeah.
While people with a very low aesthetic motivation, yeah, they can produce 30 mock-ups and throw 29 away. No issue.
For example, no? This is one motivator. Then we talk about economic, well, return on investment. Yeah, I mean, of course, everyone has a different level of this kind of motivation. Some people are very focused on return, some rather not. So this is an interesting one. There are people who want to be independent, unique, stand out. Otherwise, there are people who's there. I'm fine with being part of a team and not play a special role. And you have the power, yeah, or drive to be in control or have influence. I mean, this is a typical motivators for leaders, of course, who really want to be in charge, who say, okay, that's the direction, and this is where we need to go.
Yeah.
And
on the other hand, if a leader doesn't have this power motivation, more often than not, they get overruled by their teams and nobody's listening to them, and they're lacking in also confidence to lead.
Exactly. And this is part of our mentoring for leaders to really help them, first of all, understand where their motivation is coming from, and then work on basically you cannot change those facts, those dimensions, but you can work with them, and you can use them. Well, then you have altruistic. Talk about Mother Teresa, for example, a person who has a very, very high level of altruism, who really wants to help people and everyone. And on the other hand, people who tend to have a low altruism motivation, they're primarily focused on not being taken advantage of.
Mm-hmm.
And regulatory, people who like rules, order, structure. On both sides, on one side, if you have a low level of motivation, well, you don't care about rules, you don't care about structures and order, you just want to free float. And on the other hand, if you have a high level of regulatory motivation, well, then of course you play by the book. And last but not least, theoretically, I mean, you like this, Jan, don't you?
Oh yes. I think my motivator value for theoretical is somewhere in the 90s, so very high up the scale.
You love to understand things, you love to learn, and you love to read. Me as well. I mean, I also sometimes learn too much, and I'm consuming too much content. Yeah, so I also have a high theoretical motivator. But it's so important to understand these different motivator levels and to make use of them, and to use them for your daily activities. Cool.
And just to give another example, since I know that I really have this high level of theoretical motivation, if I have a task wherever it is from, and I don't really feel motivated to do it, I just need to think about what can I learn new, and what can I understand what I didn't before. And suddenly tasks get a lot more interesting because of the fact
you're back in the game.
Hey, I can learn something there. So you can really use the knowledge about your own motivators to make your life a lot easier.
Exactly. Yeah, so those are pretty cool. And I mean, there's a lot to learn about this. We have a full hour prepared now. Actually, we need more than an hour, but we keep it very short and sweet. And tomorrow we put this all into a team context. Yeah, the disc and the motivation. We created amazing graphs about how this team works and what are their strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah,
we will do this tomorrow, and if you're interested, if we manage, I mean, now we have to run, but if you manage, we do another short preview video here on all the channels. Where are we? In YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook,
Twitter.
Okay, so
LinkedIn.
We are streaming streaming on all channels. All right, great.
Absolutely.
It was good to see you, Jan. I mean, I see you again in a few minutes. And to everyone else, if you're interested, come back here tomorrow. Bye-bye.
And put a comment down wherever you see this, just so we know that you're interested.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Great. Take care. Bye-bye.